Hello, jazz nerds of the internet. You're in for a treat. Not really. Here's another video of me, a non-jazz fan, reviewing jazz records. Coming up.
Six in the morning.
Okay, we're starting pretty big here. Mingus. This is the music on vinyl version. Original and unedited versions mixed from the original three-track tapes on an original Presto Tube tape recorder. I don't know what that means. I'm not a recording engineer. It sounds impressive. The record itself sounds good. I don't know if this is necessarily unedited, because in researching this, the song Fables of Faubus originally had like words in it, and then they took him out because this Governor Faubus was a real turd back in the day, and so they were calling him out, and I think the label didn't like them calling out a governor of a state. But you know what? That guy sucked, and he deserved to get called out. So I don't know what's unedited. You ever say a word and then it sounds weird to you? And then you're just like, what is language? Language is weird. But I digress. This record, the first time I heard it, I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, what is this? Like, this first song sounds like a blue, like just a hopped up blues song played with jazz instruments. It's just raucous, and it sounds like you're at a Baptist church in the South. It's crazy, which might be the point. Better get it in your soul. Maybe that's invoking that sort of Baptist church sort of vibe. And so that song's like, whoa. And then by the time you get to the second song, you're like, oh, wait, this is just boring jazz again. But then it picks up, and it's pretty interesting. It's layered. There's more here than a lot of jazz records I found. I actually really like this. This turned out to be one of my favorite jazz records so far. Not all the way through my journey, but so I forgot to give it. So I'd give this a 9 out of 10 in terms of how much I like it. It is. I'm leaving the. I don't know that I want to give anything a 10. It's like calling a record mint. I don't believe anything is a mint, or very rarely. So it's a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5 out of 10. And then replay value. I've listened to this probably 10 times. It's got a lot of replay value for me. I would probably give it a 10 out of 10. It's great. I like it. You might not like it on the first listen, but you might like it more on subsequent listens. So I really liked Hank Mobley's Soul Station. This is a Tone Poet version of Curtain Call. I think this came out semi-recently. And this album is not as good. Like, it's fine. I mean, it sounds good. It, it has like a gatefold. It looks nice. It's pretty. There are none of the little pimples that I found on some of the Tone Poets releases. Just musically, it's kind of boring. It's not exciting. So musically, I guess I'd give it like maybe a 6.5 out of 10, and then replay value probably a 5. It's like it just exists. It's just a fine, not very exciting jazz record. So we'll go from something not very exciting to something that is maybe not exciting, but super interesting. I think this just came out from Blue Note. This is the classic series. Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rappin'. So this is like more of a modern, and I use that very loosely, a more modern jazz record. It doesn't say what year this came out. I believe it came out in like the early 70s, like maybe 73. So there is, it's a less stodgy sounding, less classically jazz sounding record. There's a little, I believe this is a pre-funk. I don't think funk existed at this point, but there's more elements of funk in here. It's a gatefold, which is cool. Gone are the long-winded, boring, I don't know who actually reads them, explanations of stuff. It is, you know, a little bit more digestible. Some poetry. This is fun. This is fun to listen to. This is interesting. I would give this 8.5 out of 10, and I would say the replay value is high. I'd give this a 9 out of 10 for replay value, because there's a lot going on. You are going to want to listen to it again. That's a good one. I would recommend picking that one up. All right. This is one of the coolest album covers I ever bought. Or ever saw. And which is the sole reason why I bought this. Oh, look at it. It's just incredible. I don't know why. I find this super duper interesting, this cover. It's captivating. The music, not so much. So this is Bill Evans and Jim Hall. Bill Evans being a jazz pianist. Jim Hall being a jazz guitarist. This is Undercurrent. And musically, it is not particularly exciting. It is pretty poorly recorded. This is the boring nonsense that I was referring to earlier. Like, does anyone actually read this? It looks like just words. I don't know. I have ADD, so looking at this, just my brain immediately shuts off. But I bought this for the cover, and I don't regret it, because I would buy it again for this cover. I guess maybe they have a poster of this I could have hung up. That might have been a better, because this was an expensive release. This is $40, I think. They have crappier versions of this that mar this beautiful cover in different ways. So I didn't buy those. I went for the more expensive one. But it's boring. It's not great. I wanted to love this. I wanted like atmosphere. Like this invokes like an atmospheric sort of journey you're going to be going on. And what you get is boring piano jazz with some jazz guitars. I know some people, that's probably going to anger some people. Like, oh my God, the album's great. I don't know. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want that. I wanted something more atmospheric and interesting. But, what did I give this? Did I give this a number? I would give this maybe a 4.5 out of 10. And then replay, also like a 4.5 out of 10. Doing a lot of 0.5s today. I didn't do any on the last review. Oh, it's a controversial one. The Complete Birth of the Cool by Miles Davis. This is the first Miles Davis that I've reviewed. So I don't know. I still haven't figured out. I know what free jazz is. I don't know what bebop is. I don't know what hard bop is. And I don't know what cool jazz is. But I'm pretty sure this is the birth of cool jazz, as the title implies. So, I don't know. This is actually a really beautiful package for this. It's a gatefold. It has like a booklet here, a lot of words I'll never read, and pictures that are nice to look at. And where this falls down on its face is the mastering. This thing, and I don't have anything to compare it to. Michael Fremer really went to town on this release because the sound is really neutered. It sounds like they really compressed it they took all the highs out and they kind of squashed the lows, and so you just kind of have this middle of the road, not very engaging sort of mix that isn't great. The music in and of itself is good. It's, it's Miles Davis doing Miles Davis back before he got experimental, and I think this is pre kind of Blue. But this is, one of his more known works. And it probably deserved better than that. I don't know why they went with that sort of sound signature, but that's what they did, and that kind of ruins this a little bit. So this is a hard one to quantify with a number. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's not... And I don't think that's indicative of the pressing. I'm gonna ignore the fact that it probably sounds better in other places and could have sounded better given a better treatment. And then replay value, I'm gonna say that's where this is kind of affected by the mediocre mastering. I would give this maybe a 5 out of 10. The first, as you're starting to listen, like, oh, it's not that bad. And the more it goes on, you're like, yeah, it just doesn't feel right. So, there we go. That is round 2. Of how many rounds, I do not know. Probably a lot. Because if I'm doing this 5 at a time, there's going to be probably 5 or 6 more of these. Lucky you. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm stupid? Put it down below. Hey, subscribe. That'd be nice. I like subscribers. They make me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm not just talking to myself. All right, have a good day.